Good evening and welcome to WTF Dog Training, where the truth really does matter. I'm Graham. I'm a canine behaviourist and master dog trainer. As we tend to do some various things on our website and also on our YouTube channel. But tonight, what I want to look at is I've seen quite a lot of videos popping up on YouTube and on Facebook about the best dogs to have with their children. The best dogs to bring up with children. And they're saying Labradors, this dog, that dog, the other dog, various breeds of dog that are great with children. But to be honest with you, there's loads of dogs which are great with children, and almost any dog can be good with children, whether it be a Labrador, German Shepherd, Rottweiler, Doberman, XL Bully, Springer Spaniel, Cockapoo. They can all be good with children. So don't go thinking to yourself, I've got to go and buy a Labrador because I've got children, because I've seen Labradors which are absolutely neurotic, absolute crackpots, and they're not great with children. But I've also seen Dobermans which are not good with children, Rottweilers which are not good with children, Cockapoos which are not good with children, Jack Russells that are not good with children. All breeds can be potentially not good with children. What you should be doing is looking at the parents, looking at the adult dogs, mum, dad if you can. Usually you don't get to see dad, but usually speaking you usually get to see mum, and you want to be looking at various dogs. If the breeds you want to look at, don't just go thinking I've got to buy a Labrador because I've got children, because I've seen Labradors which are absolute nutcases, as I've said, but I've seen some great Labradors with children. And either ways, whatever you do, you should never ever leave a child with a dog. Not even to go and make a cup of tea for yourself, not even to go and make a brew or a coffee. Don't go leaving the children and the dog together. It only takes a split second for that dog to snap, okay? And then you've got potential danger on your hand. The main thing you want to be doing is making sure your children are brought up with your dog and the children respect your dog. Certain breeds of dog, things like border collies, female border collies, don't like being cuddled. They don't like being smothered. They don't like have their arms around them. Children putting their arms around them. They tend to get a bit claustrophobic, if you like, about it, and they can snap. Whereas male border collies, they love cuddles and kisses and what have you. But even so, you never ever let your children do that sort of thing. If you cage train your puppy, cage train your dog, don't allow your children in the cage. The cage is your dog's, not belonging to the children. It's not a toy. It's not a place to go and play. It's a place for the dog to go and get out of the way. Again, children and dogs. Your dog or your puppy or your dog is not a toy for children. It's not there for a toy. It's a family pet. Okay, it's part of the family. Don't allow your children to go mollycoddling the puppy or grabbing his tail or grabbing his feet, grabbing his ears, sticking your fingers in his eyes, that sort of thing. Have the children respect the dog a bit. That's the main thing, is have your children respect your dog. If the children respect your dog, then your dog respects your child. But there's certain things that you want to be doing with your dog and certain things that you have to do with dogs. Make sure that you get the pack order right. A lot of people don't realise that dogs are a pack animal. Yep, they've been domesticated for the past 10,000 years. The past 3,000 years, we've been teaching them certain behaviours, like Labradors to retrieve, Border Collies to herd sheep, German Shepherds, Rottweilers as a guard breed. But we need to understand that dogs are a pack animal and they need that pack order, and if you don't get your pack order right, then you have problems with your dog. And the pack order should be mum and dad. Well, loosely speaking, they should be alpha male and female. I don't personally like to say alpha male and female. You should be mum and dad of your dog. And there's certain things you do that in pack order. The pack order quite simply means how the pack hierarchy work. Okay, and the pack hierarchy work very simple. In the pack animal, the wolf pack, the dingoes, the wild dogs of Africa, there's a pack order. Yep. The alpha male and female, mum and dad, if you like, they're the leaders. They're the top dogs, for want of a better word. They're the leaders. And there's certain things you need to do to get your pack order right. Okay, and the simple answer is, when you go to feed your dog, 95% of people feed their dog wrong in this country and all over the world. I see it in America, in Australia. I've seen it all over the world, in the UK as well. People feeding their dog in the wrong pack order. Okay, the pack order should be mum and dad, that's you, and any other adult within the household. Yep, and then should be the children next in the line of the pack order and the dogs at the bottom of the pack. And that's where your dog should be. But people feed them wrong. Very simply, majority of people, and think to yourself how you feed your dog. Okay, just think to yourself how you feed your dog. Almost certainly what you do is you go into the kitchen. Oh, it's time to feed the dog. Okay, you pick the bowl up. The instant you touch a domesticated dog's bowl, they know it's food time. Yep. So you pick the bowl up, you put it on the worktop, you put the food in the bowl, and then you put it on the floor for the dog. In that respect, okay, in that scenario, if you like, the dog is eating first. And if the dog is eating first, that then becomes the pack order. They're eating first, they're the leaders of the pack. Now, there is an old wives' tale, and there's many old wives' tales within dog behaviour and dog training. Things like, oh, if you want to house train your dog, okay, house train your puppy, and he poops on the floor, rub his nose in it. You know, it doesn't work. It scares the puppy. It's a filthy habit anyway, but it scares the puppy. Okay, another old wives' tale, if they bark at the door, bang a newspaper on the table, it stops the dog barking. It doesn't stop the dog barking, it just scares them. Okay, but you need to get that pack order right. We're talking about the pack order at the moment. Yep, and your pack order must be you first. Okay, so the way you should feed your dog. Okay, pick the bowl up. You put the bowl on the worktop. You put the food in the bowl. You leave it on the worktop 5-6 minutes. While it's on the worktop, it's now your food. That's where you make your food. Okay, not the dog's. You make your food on the worktop. Make the dog food on the worktop in his bowl. Leave it there 4 to 5 minutes. Okay. While the bowl is on the worktop, it's now your food. You're the leaders, if you like, your mum and dad. Then 4 or 5 times a week, you should call the child in, or the children in. Yep, if they're under a certain age, usually 5 to 10-year-old. Over 10-year-old, they should be feeding the dog 3 or 4 times a week by putting it on the worktop, leaving it on there. They can become almost part-time alphas or adolescent alphas, if you like. But younger children, you should call them in 3 or 4 times a week. They come in the kitchen, the bowl has been on the worktop for 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, it's your food, your mum and dad, the alphas, if you like. Then you take the bowl off the worktop, hand it to the child. While the child is holding that food, you control the dog, the puppy. Okay, you control him. Don't allow him to jump up to take the food. Then it becomes the child's food. Okay, they become second in line. Okay, second in the pack order. So you're first, then the children, and then you, as the alpha male or female, whoever's feeding the dog, you take the food off the child after 3 or 4 minutes, and then you put it on the floor for the dog. Okay, then you get your pack order right. Yep. But the main thing is make sure that the children respect the dog. And if you allow your children to feed the dog, allow the children to hold the lead and things like that around the house as puppies, then the children start to learn to respect the dog. Make sure they don't go in the cage. It's the dog's cage, not the children's cage. If you have a puppy pen, then the children don't go in the puppy pen. That's the dog's place. Okay? Old wives' tale, don't allow the puppy on the bed. Don't allow your dog on the bed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter if your dog's on the bed or on the furniture. They're old wives' tales. Yep. The main thing is feed in the pack order. That's where you get your respect from, with you, with the children, down to the dog. That's where you learn your pack order. That's where you get your preference. So it doesn't matter what type of dog you get. Do your research. Make sure that the mum, the puppies are really good, well-behaved, well-adjusted puppies, and then you shouldn't have a problem with them biting children or whether they're any good with children or not. Yep. All dogs have the potential to be good with children if you get your pack order right, if you do some obedience training, socialization. Yep, it all comes down to training of your puppy. Yep, puppies are almost like imprintable. For the first 20 weeks of your puppy's life, you can imprint them like little sponges. Yep, you can sponge them, you can make them do things that ordinary you wouldn't be able to do if you don't do your socialization properly. Get your training. Speak to a qualified trainer. Go to a class. Don't go looking online to try and get training, because it doesn't work online. Don't keep looking at YouTube videos, Facebook videos, because they're people that, as far as I'm concerned, don't have a clue about dogs. Okay, they don't seem to have a clue about dogs. They teach you this way, teach that way, teach the other way, and there isn't an easy way of teaching dogs. You can't click your fingers and teach dogs. Okay, it takes time, patience, and knowledge, and your knowledge comes from people like myself, that's a master dog trainer, go and see puppy classes, go and see adult classes, and what have you, and actually go and see them face to face and do dog training there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little podcast from WTF Dog Training. We're a non-profit organisation. We work in conjunction with the Happy Dog Training Academy, and all the profits we do make, that goes towards rescue dogs that we teach. Okay, so like and share, it all benefits us, and it benefits the rescue dogs that we teach. Okay, ask your friends to share. Send it to your friends, okay, on dog training and dog behaviour. WTF Dog Training. Speak to you soon. Take care now. Bye.